hit by the pitch. His eyes are watering. Ian Kennedy quiet. The Pens go back. Popped a bunt up, and he is hit. And I think Kennedy's thrown out of the game. And now they're liable to get angry after that. Uribe is mixing it up a little bit. He's in the middle. That's Belisario went down on one knee. There's about a little more ready to erupt. Puig is right there. There is Puig hollering at anybody who'll listen, even those who won't. Remember, he was hit in the nose earlier.
0-1 pitch, fastball, a called strike.
Wow, Harper's got to be careful.
Miles an hour.
Harper's barking at the home plate umpire, Chris Siegel, and that's actually, you got to admire the umpire's restraint as Harper.
The kick and the pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. Bryce strikes out and now gets thrown out of the game. Now he lets the home plate umpire hear it. He spikes his bat down, and he then goes and points down to where the pitch was. And you kind of saw that coming.
And tossed. He slams down his bat, gets in Chris Siegel's face, and now he's going to further demonstrate where the strike zone is.
If he didn't drive that run in, he wasn't.
Harper was very fortunate not to get tossed out of the game.
Bryce thought the pitch was low and took his right hand and fired it down and said that pitch is down. Here's the set of the pitch. Bryce swings and misses at a breaking ball.
Well, good job by Cal Quantrill to limit the damage. Yeah, what's going on? Stallings and Quantrill, and both benches are empty. Reese McGuire took issue with Cal Quantrill.
Somebody's yelling at Bud Black. Nick Pavetta's yelling at Bud Black.
I'm not sure what happened with this pop-up. Oh, Cal was excited about that, and then McGuire started yelling at him, and then Cal was jawing back.
To me, it was a visceral reaction to, hey, I got out of this limiting the damage, and not as much I got you.
Strike three called. And some words with Kerwin Danley, and he threw him out of the game.
By Kerwin Danley.
And now Puig tosses his bat and his helmet into the batter's box, and David Bell is going to get his money's worth. They are having to pull.
Doing something to cost him a couple of games.
Bryce now with 39 doubles on the year. Castellanos is hit by the pitch, and he is not happy. The benches are going to clear. Harper's already at the mounds. Castellanos has been hit a handful of times this week. Dusty Wathan comes over with Brandon Marsh to move Harper away. The bullpen's clear as well.
Yeah, I mean, that if Nick moves in just a half a step, that thing's behind it. And they can say, well, it's not intentional. It doesn't matter. That's what you love right there.
Well, Usain is going to be asked to leave this game. I don't think there's any question about that. The umpires are talking about it right now.
Yeah, and then they'll probably warn both teams.
Yeah. Swing and a miss. Inning is over.
There's some words.
Yep.
Started. And the hesitation right there by Cabert, and, well, Bryce telling him to throw it. Why you hesitate? It's a ball. It's a strike, but it's. And he's saying, what are you looking at? Maybe a little bit in there, but. Bench is empty. Bullpens came in. Nothing of consequence happened.
Yep, there it is. And now you're going to see Severino calling out the Blue Jays, and Smoke's right there. And now they're going at it. Smoke's in the middle. He's got a hold of Sabathia. Donaldson and Sabathia trying to get at each other. This is the last time these two teams play this season. And Severino, no telling who's.
Little tapper somewhere.
It's a fair ball.
He's something. Let's watch.
But he wasn't Ruiz. What you don't want him to do is to go into any type of that with a mask in his hand.
I think he hit him on purpose.
All right, they're having to hold back Puig, Contreras, and Rizzo.
I'm not saying Pedro should have drilled him. I'm just saying as a hitter, you have to know that certain actions are going to fire up an opposing pitcher.
Well said. I don't have anything to add to that.
If he gets to the mound, there's not a pitcher in this league. He'll snap your neck.
Well, it's probably the case, but I think we all agree that when a batter gets hit, if they really want to go to the mound, they can get to the mound.
It's a 3-0 pitch, and Strop had been pitching him in earlier. The body language after this one, I think this is what got Strop's attention.
But
I agree with
he doesn't want him. And I'm not suggesting he should go get him. I don't want anybody to misunderstand me here. But all the rest of this is just
one pitch that Puig fouls back.
King ball that was kind of up and flat.
Puig and Hundley coming together. Hundley shoves him. Puig returns the ball, and the bench is clear. It was actually Puig that delivered the first push.
It's nothing offensive to the opposing team. It's just he's just upset with himself. He didn't stare out at Watts.
Whoa!
History.
And Bryce Harper wants a piece of Hunter Strickland. Here they go.
Well, defending yourself. And when a guy throws a 100-mile-an-hour pitch at you, I think you have to defend yourself.
Look like Strickland. Strickland lands a punch. Harper lands a punch. Bench is empty.
And that was intentional in my mind.
Strike 3 call. Nationals down to their final out.
How did he get?
I think it's all Bryce said is that was so bad, and you can say that. And Bryce is saying, I didn't say a word. He was walking back to the dugout. It was over. And I think as an umpire, you got to let it.
Getting him via trade later on in that career. Rene Tassoni was actually drafted a couple of times by the Twins, and now there's a little chippiness going on. Hey, wow! After the warning, Arnold Leon just drilled Rene Tassoni, and it's on. Benches have cleared. Oh my! You want nothing to do with the hockey players.
That's not good.
There are people flying all around here right now. Coaches are trying to restore some order. Oh, I saw. Oh, goodness. And now the Canadian fans, or the Canadian players.
Yeah, there's some Mexican fans, some fans of Team Mexico beyond the Canada dugout that are beginning to throw things at the players.
That's game 1. Game 2, Samurai Japan.
Got him. And that'll end the inning.
Bum got something to say to Myers, and now Myers is going after Bumgarner. And it's be wise for Bumgarner to get out of there.
Big guy.
So something went on. I do believe it was the pitch prior to that Bumgarner didn't like it.
Look out.
And that got Donaldson. Chase Headley looked out to Jay Happ as if to say, hey, I didn't throw it at Donaldson. Legs of Chase Headley. Watch his reaction.
Went behind him. And now he got hit.
From a Blue Jay standpoint, I don't understand why.
I mean, really makes no sense.
Yep. There it is.
There you go.
Now it'll get thrown out.
Now we're going to have some action.
Donaldson and Sabathia trying to get at each other. This is the last time these two teams play this season.
The two catchers are trying to keep Sanchez back away from Russell Martin, who's trying.
Now McCutchen takes a pitch up and in. Harrison took a pitch up and in, and now
4 hit by pitches last night by the Rockies.
McCutchen's okay. And play this. Yep, and here we go. Carlos Gonzalez, first pitch, right at him. No surprise. Both benches empty.
Cargo be upset about
What in the world did he expect? I mean everybody knew this was coming.
Yeah, how can you be?
Check swing, ball four. Oh, man, no. He just said he went. And Bryce is not happy. Throw it out. Here comes Rob Thompson.
You know what you hate is he had to peek around.
He had to peek around.
Rob might be gone too. That was absolutely.
That's a fair ball. They get one, and that'll be it.
Double play. Came off the bag. Double play. Double play.
And,
broke the rules. Came off the bag.
Here come the Pirates, and here come the Cubs. And what good for Javi. I think Javi's saying, guys, no big deal.
And that's what happens when you had the incident the other night and the way it got blown up. Now everything that happens on the field, there's going to be questions as to what the intent was.
This is a crew chief review, so this was not a Joe Madden generated challenge.
Saying something. Harper's not happy about it. He's pushing Diaz. Watch the elbow.
Right at the top step of the Rockies dugout, shouting, and many of them coaches wearing the hooded warm-up tops. Now the bullpens have emptied. Harper was red hot coming out of that bullpen, or dugout rather.
All right, here's Jerickson Profar training.
That was boring. Didn't even have to dive or fly through the air, huh? Sometimes boring is good. Keibert Ruiz and Jerickson Profar having words. And here come the benches. And the on-deck hitter, Manny Machado, got in the middle of it. So this happens tonight before a pitch is thrown to Profar after his histrionics last night at the end of the game.
Keibert's fired up. Let's go, boys.
Now the bullpen's coming in.
Just fight out's there. Why waste your time?
Yeah, guys coming in from the cage. Got to get late hitting in. Well, Profar last night was upset about a Hunter Harvey fastball that was up. He went down, of course. We didn't think the ball was hardly inside
him. A celebration should be within the dugout so that his team can celebrate amongst themselves. Once you direct that celebration towards the opponent, in Davey's mind and in a bunch of other guys' minds in the game today, the celebration takes on a different purpose. And you see Keibert Ruiz telling Jerickson Profar he didn't like it.
Looks to me like warnings have been issued.
Yeah, this is a tough place to get out of the dugout. Just, you got to go over the railing. There's no two openings. There's only one opening.
Should have the peacemaker.
And right to Reyes. Freeze beats it out, and a really good slide by Harrison.
Good slide by Harrison, going in hard.
And now in 2018, people don't think that that's not good baseball, and here comes some shouting.
I'm guessing somebody must have been chirping at Josh Harrison, because it wasn't Cabrera. Cabrera came and gave him a hug.
Ground ball to first. Snagged by Smith. Martin again runs the drill. And despite getting a guy down to third base, they can't bring him in. We're tied 1-1 in the middle of the seventh.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Who's the first base coach?
Both benches and both bullpens emptied. No punches.
It's the ground ball from Smith, and Quentin Berry starts yapping at him. I don't know if he said something first to it or not, but I mean, you're the first base coach. You can't put yourself in a spot like that if you're a first base coach.
And I don't think it was Christian Yelich either.
No.
The batter runner. I don't think it was him. Give me another look here.
So remember, Quentin Barrett, he played here for a little bit too. Eventually, it's Jason Varitek that kind of walks over to him and tries to calm him down. As you see here, like these guys were together here in Boston, I believe.
They were. And
Break it up. Come on, God damn it. Don't do that to me. Come on, Ted. Come on, Ted. God damn it. Come on, Ted. Fucking man, you son of a. Try to treat you like a man all year. You don't want to be treated like a man. Get the camera out of here. On, I'll break it. God damn it.
Jeff Blauser took Ruskin deep to decide the game. Dibble then reportedly stormed to the dugout and threw his glove. All parties had talked. They said the waters were calm.
It's in-house, like I said, and Rob and I have talked with Marge and also with Bob Quinn. And
Wanted a piece of Mr. October. June 2002, it's Jeff Kent and Barry Bonds. No, your mustache is more off-putting. And Giants manager Dusty Baker gets between the two, and he restores order, and he takes care of Kent.
Oh, and that went off the mid of Moreno. And did it hit Alvarez? It did. It did. And he's a little annoyed, and he's being steered to first base by Trip Gibson. And now the Mets dugout is emptying, and here comes the Diamondbacks dugout as well. So after Alvarez homered 3 times.
See how much he hits. He's going to try to bunt for a base hit. And he will succeed. Turner's throw goes down the line. Caballero rounding second on his way to third. And he'll be out easily there, but the Rays will get a run out of it. And some words. And now a shove as the Blue Jays get out there quickly to wrap up.
Ball clubs play a lot of tight games, and emotions oftentimes run pretty high. But it didn't take long for everybody to meet.
That had something to do with this outburst as well. You talk about frustration, and again, I have no problem with it. Sometimes it's good to let this out.
Working like a scrappy 9-hitter, Andres Jimenez. 2-2. This actually hits him. Throw it over the plate, says Jimenez. The bench is clear in Game 7. Here looks like he tries to get hit. And this time he doesn't have to try.
Well, I can promise you this. He's not trying to hit him.
Well, the last thing you want to do for Justin Obleski is
Give a free pass to the 9.
Left side hit. 2 out. Aguilar and Machado got tangled up at the back. And George.
And Contreras hit by a pitch, and now he's pointing at Boxberger.
Well, you can understand what's going through Contreras' mind. He got hit in the head last night. That came up and in on here, got him in the shoulder.
Ground ball towards second base. Kinsler's got it to Simmons for one on to first. Light that baby up as the Angels turn the
slide. And listen, it's a good slide by Rougned Odor. He can still reach the base. He did not change the path. And that's right there, a little push where Andrelton Simmons isn't having it, saying, you kicked me. You can kick a guy. You're still allowed to kick a middle infielder. But we got guys nowadays that have just gotten a little bit
all about it. Garrett didn't get a chance. They're chirping at one another. There's plenty of animosity between those two, as Baez tells him.
So here goes Profar headed out there. These guys were headed off the field when Jurickson started in on them, and they're like, you know, what are you talking about? And Jurickson seems to find himself in these type situations more times than not.
That's going to drill him. He gets hit by the pitch.
On purpose a lot of times. You don't stand up. In my opinion, there was no intent there. The ball just got away from him.
Well, the umpires are warning both benches. They have warned Pivetta.
That's a bad warning, too.
That's one of the reasons Nick is a little upset right now. And they're screaming back and forth.
Ensued between the Cubs battery today. And unfortunately, Bobby got physical right here. Zambrano and Barrett. So the coaching staff had to get in between.
Cut. Look out.
He didn't mean to hit that one. Hayes.
Than anything else. And he's down looking on strikes for the first out. 5 strikeouts for Matz. He's not happy with Mark Carlson. I think more about strike 2. Dusty Watkins coming here as well. This is the most heated I think we've ever seen Gabe.
From third, a double pump. He better hurry. Safe at first. Willie Wilson didn't mean to hit it. Was trying to hold his swing and maybe duck the pitch at the
2. Oh, Molino's up in there in that Willie Wilson area.
0-2, keep him honest, especially with a guy who has that kind of forkball. You want to keep him off the outside corner. This is something the Yankee pitchers this time, they didn't do it that well on the coast. Pitching inside. Now, there's nothing wrong with that pitch. I don't know why anybody complained. It's not headhunting at all. It's just a very honest pitch. Buck Showalter now is telling both managers they better cool it. Wilson started it. La Russa picked it up. Showalter saying, you tell them to stay off my pitcher. Now Buck's, that's the way to go, Buck. You got to do this and stick up.
This is getting really ugly.
Frank's right here in the middle of it. Frank Howard is protecting Buck Showalter. And he'd had him around the neck and trying to prevent anybody from getting at Showalter.
Where is Buck?
He's right behind home plate.
There he is. Oh, this accelerated.
Tommy Reynolds has him. Doug Rader, 2 big, strong guys.
This accelerated in a hurry.
Here comes the bullpen. Both bullpens, which is always strange. Why did the bullpens just stay out left field and fight each other instead of running in side by side?
Now Wilson is going at Perez. Buck.
And Jeff is pushed off the plate. And he's got to look back at the young Cub catcher. Perhaps a message being sent there. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. The entire Cubs infield's coming in, and Jeff Francoeur is looking at young Wilson Contreras. The Cubs had 3 hitters plunked in this game, and they've.
Jeff with a smile, a shake of his head. And it was Contreras that got up first and started chirping with Jeff. And now the umpires are meeting in front of the dirt circle in front of home plate.
Get Dozier over to third.
Huge. And Dozier is going to stop about halfway with this shift. There's a balk and he'll score. Brilliant base running by Brian. Henderson had momentary, and now here comes Escobar out to gesture toward Robertson. And here come the benches. I have no idea what precipitated. It's a bit of an issue. Now Archer is gesturing at somebody. He wants to talk, I think, to Escobar and intervening somebody.
He was the first one out there and said.
And a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. All right, Escobar had some words to say, and for the second time, the bench is clear.
Again to Robertson as he is coming off the field, and Escobar was walking over to third.
Left field, easy play for Profar, and Jake Bird works out of it.
Bryce is about to get ejected.
Oh, man. Well, no, he's charging Bird. Bryce Harper's yelling at Bird. Both teams now have emptied the dugout. This is wild. Jake Bird walking off, saying something, but we don't know what was said prior to that.
Kind of clapped his glove a little bit. There he goes. And that's when Harper jumped out of the dugout.
Strike three call.
You're right again, John.
A little off the plate.
I think they got both balls.
You think they got both? I mean, Harp had everything. He had every reason to complain about the pitch to him. The last one to Reese looked like it was a good pitch, but.
Look out. And again, now Dawson gestures, trying to push Carter out of the way. So Andre Dawson hit by a pitch following a home run. And the inference is overwhelming, of course, especially if you're Dawson. That's Ron Darling.
Oh, man. Now, he's not really diving in. That ball just nicked him as he tried to move him back.
So Andre Dawson, hit by the pitch, will go to first. Meanwhile, the umpires are meeting at the mound, and let's see if they're ruling intent or not.
Well, Bryce is gone, you know that. The helmet, the bat, and Mike Winters tossed him immediately.
Fastball to Bryce Harper for strike three. He had a legitimate argument, but maybe the helmet toss was a hair excessive, and there's no umpire that's going to let you stay in the game when you do that.
1-0. And here comes the pitch. Gomez swings and fouls it off to the right. Carlos 5 for 11 with 2 runs batted in. Now Gomez is going out toward the mound. Gomez, carrying the bat in his right hand, is slowly walking out to the mound. And McHugh seems to be saying, what did...
The 2 gone. And here is Jeff Kent. He'll be an all-star for the 5th. Well, look at this Kent walking toward Young Kim. What's that about?
Well, you know what? He's not trying to hit him. There's nobody out. I haven't seen one of these in a while at Coors Field.
I've seen one of these in quite a while.
Danny Ardwant did the right thing because he saw Kent start to make the move as a catcher, get out in front of him, prevent him from getting to your pitcher, and that's exactly what he was trying to do. Center telling him, nobody's trying to hit you.
Well, I see one of the first guys out of the Rockies dugout is Blaine Neal, who's on.
And Dietrich admiring that one. He is homered for the 2nd time against the Pirates this year. That one way out of here. First time around. And of course, a pitch comes in at him, and Archer's going to be warned.
Archer apparently has.
Actually, you know, in retrospect, that's really not that bad. That Bell is upset. I'm not sure if he's upset.
These two teams have played each other quite a bit here in the early going, and it's feisty. There's some pushing and shoving. Don't let anybody get hurt now. Whole lot of hullabaloo
of Archer, and then it was him and Cervelli, and it looked like he had been taken out of the mix, and then finally, I don't know who that is. He's making contact. Yeah, I mean, you know, all he's trying to do is keep everything peaceful, and Puig makes contact with him.
He's just telling fastball.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you right now. The problem is, 1 minute later, you're limping back into the dugout. So
and biting your helmet.
That doesn't really do much good. And the 2-2. Got him.
And you look at the velocity, you see 92, but it doesn't tell the whole story about Harrison. I mean, he's sneaky.
Fastball hitters do not like that.
And Bryce rips it. Foul.
Right, went over the corner of the bag, perhaps.
The Phillies, it's been a year and a half. We have not seen Bryce Harper this mad. He has been ejected from the ball game. You know, he had words with Roberto Ortiz, the first base umpire, and it was on the ball that was hit down the right field line, which was called foul. He thought was fair, and then Roberto.
Toronto. The Blue Jays are hardly put away. Harper, frustrated, flings his bat and his helmet as he stalled earlier in the at-bat that Harper didn't like, as he throws his bat and his helmet in disgust. And then whatever he had to say there to Alex Tosi was the final bell for Harper. Play umpire Alex Tosi with a pretty quick hook for Harper, who flung his bat, flung his helmet, and now has a lot to say as he pushes Paco Figueroa out of the way.
He did not like the
pitch. It's low and in. Ball. Oh, they said he went around. He's going to be out of this game if he keeps this up. He is out of this. I got to tell you, naked eye, he did not. Somebody.
Puig at the plate, and the pitch is at his feet. He leaps in the air trying to get out of the way of it, and I believe it hit him on the foot. And Puig is furious now at Bumgarner, and he would love to have a card on him. And both teams come out and went down like a folding chair, but he was not just folding. He was simmering and then suddenly began to burn over. And by the time he gets up, he's had enough time to go after him, as if to say, what are you doing? Gesturing, takes off his... Puig had fire in his eyes when that pitch hit him on the foot, and he is still staring at Bumgarner. Bumgarner did not leave the mound. It's not as if he was going to charge Puig. He was going to stay where he was.
Takes ball one from Urania and takes a couple of steps in his direction. This is not the first time there's been a little bit of extracurricular between the Dodgers and the Marlins this year. You can understand why Puig takes exception